What is up, bros, and welcome to the All Bros podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a lot of it of the nerd life. This week on the podcast, we will be going over some 4K spotlight. We got a huge Marvel title coming out with Through the Wall. We got our official official trailer for Turning Red. I actually thought it was just called Red. I don't know why. Considering I just watched the trailer, I don't know how I thought that it was just called Red.
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
I thought it was called, even when I was talking to you about it earlier, I called it Red, and then I saw it was called Turning Red. But Red is the one with Bruce Willis and all the other old actors, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. And then after that, with Through the Wall, I think me and Caleb want to share our first initial thoughts about a certain show that premiered today, the 24th. So we just want to give our quick reaction to what we've seen so far with that. And then we'll be moving into our All Bros headliner of the evening, which will be our breakdown of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So what do you say we get started?
So let's do it. That wasn't the right one.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
All right, so first starting out with 4K Spotlight.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
I would like to address that the soundboard is still relatively new to us, so anyone who wants to make fun of me can go screw themselves.
We'll get there. That was very abrupt, though. Just the way you said, anyone that makes fun of me, they can go. What did you say?
They can go F themselves.
F themselves. Yeah, damn. You're not just like, well, kiss my ass. No, it's go F themselves. Okay. It's very abrupt. But okay.
It's still a new thing. I forget. I almost just did the normal couple second silence that we usually do, and then I was like, oh shit, wait. And so I was getting ready, and so I think I just need to reorder these because I have it so it's all of our normal intro stuff is because I have hotkeys set with my F buttons at the top. So I have F1, our intro music. F2 is the post intro, or not post intro. That's the in between music between our new segment and our headliner. I have a clapping one that I've never used on this show. And then I have all of the promos for all the shows that we like to give shout outs to. So yeah, I just feel like a fool now.
I still like it. It's okay, Caleb. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho, getting to 4K Spotlight. The big and only release this week is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And for the first time in a while, I actually like the 4K cover better than the Steelbook.
Do you really?
Yeah, the 4K, the Steelbook is just a picture of Shang-Chi, just like standing there, like looking menacing. But the 4K cover is him, like, remember when it's him and, oh my god, what is his dad's name? I know he goes by, like, many names, but what's his, like, name that he usually goes by?
Oh, balls.
You know what? I'm just going to call him
Basically
the Mandarin.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. Because he
Basically
did
the
say
Mandarin.
yeah. Okay, but so you remember that one scene that's, like, on, like, every poster where, like, both of them are, like, doing their ring thing?
Mm-hmm.
With their fists. So it's just Shang-Chi, but he's doing that on the cover. I think that looks so much better than just a very, very close-up of Shang-Chi just on the Steelbook. It's a little boring, honestly. But so the cover is boring, but then the inside is exactly the shot that I just said, but now you're adding his dad. So I like the inside artwork. It's just I wish that the front was a little better.
Dude, I think one that would have been really cool is doing that scene where they're holding the rings like that and kind of doing like that grapple from like a different perspective, doing it from like a top down perspective.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that would have been like way cool, and then have the like the 10 rings logo just kind of around them, and then Shang-Chi on the top. Oh my gosh, that would have been dope.
Dude, I swear, Caleb needs to design Steelbooks. Like, come on.
Dude, freaking designing our episode artwork's hard enough. And now that I've thrown in animation with it.
Alright, fair enough. But so it's getting a regular 4K release, a Steelbook release, as well as a Target exclusive 4K release. And I think I talked a couple weeks ago about this, how like it's kind of boring to me. Some people might like it, but just for me, it's kind of boring. It's literally just the 10 rings. Like it looks like the 10 rings like traveling through space. There's like a lot of blue going on in the background. The rings just swooshing by. I don't know. It's like it looks cool for what it's going because it's supposed to be like an art edition of it. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. But you know what? If it does it for you guys, that's great. That is a Target exclusive if you guys want to pick it up. That is it for 4K Spotlight. So, guys, go pick up Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's a great Marvel film. Don't watch it on Disney Plus. Go actually own the physical copy.
Or go watch it on Disney Plus.
No, they need to own a physical copy.
No, they don't, Rose. Quit
yes,
trying
they
to
do.
Shove that down people's throats.
I will continue to shove that down people's throats until the day that physical media truly dies, and I hope that never happens.
It's getting there.
Shut up. Hey, I'm just saying, the day that physical media dies, you don't get any free digital codes. I'm just saying.
That is an absolutely fair point.
Mic drop.
All right, but let's be real though. If physical media dies, eventually the Blu-ray players are going to die out. And then one day, you are not going to be able to watch your physical media anymore because you will not be able to find a Blu-ray player for super cheap. And guess whose account you're going to want to bum off?
I mean, I already do that anyway, but yeah, okay, you got a point there.
See, we're helping each other. I'm creating.
Yeah.
You're buying the content that is slowly dying out, and I am keeping a digital version of that collection for you. So you're welcome.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having my back.
It's like, and I just bought myself another couple months of free movies.
Oh, shit.
That's how you do it, folks.
I love it. first up with this week's sneak peeks, or Through the Wall. God damn, sneak peeks has been dead forever.
Yeah, it has.
Sorry. Wow. Doing a little throwback for you guys. With Through the Wall, we got our first official trailer for Turning Red, the new Pixar film coming out next year. And like Caleb said, we both thought this was called Red, even after watching the damn trailer.
Yep.
But this looks very interesting. Apparently, so it's about a girl that is the kind of girl that like doesn't give a shit about what anyone thinks about her. She does what she wants. She wears what she wants. She loves her little group of friends that she has. They love hanging out with each other. They get each other. But then one day, is it one night? She has like kind of like a. Would you say it's a dream, or would you say it's like a what's the word? God damn it.
Like a vision?
There we go. Yeah, let's go with that. Of basically in her heritage, there is, oh my god, what is it? Like there's like, what is it? Like the red panda like runs in their family, that like this thing will happen to where, if like a certain, wasn't it like a certain like emotion takes you over, you turn into the red panda?
It seems like it's strong emotions.
Yes, that's what it is. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. It just seems like it's very strong emotions. But if I had to take a guess, I'd say it's more of a vision, or just like that unlocking of that curse or ability or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, she turned to a red panda. She of course freaks out, and apparently her mom says that it runs in the family. I would literally be like, these are the shittiest genes I've ever seen. Thanks, Mom.
Dude, I thought red pandas were like super small.
I didn't even know there were red pandas.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
I thought it was just black and white pandas.
Red pandas. They're like 8 to 14 pounds.
Damn. Yeah, they really are small.
Yeah, they're like little dinky creatures. Like, why is her panda so freaking big?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. Guess that's an interesting choice by Pixar.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, oh, they're like a mystical red panda.
Huh.
Yeah, I am not. Oh, let's see. Was there a giant big panda? It is roughly the size of a domestic cat with a longer body.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Wow. That's all I can say about that. It's just wow, okay. Okay. But yet, no, in this universe, the frickin' red panda is, God, it seems like, what, like 7 or 8 feet?
Yeah. Unless this is like a weird reverse world where they're just like all really tiny.
That would be one hell of a trip that they explain at the end of the movie.
That would be really hilarious. It's just like, nope, they're just all super small and she becomes a normal sized red panda. Did you know in like a red panda is actually what the what's his face, Shifu from Kung Fu Panda is?
I didn't.
Yeah, he's a little red panda.
Oh. Okay, good to know. You know what's really sad? I still have not seen Kung Fu Panda 2 or 3.
Yeah, you're not missing a lot.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'll say that Kung Fu Panda is definitely the best of the 3.
Okay.
Duh. 2
fair.
2 was okay, not as good as the first, and then the third one was just a little bit too much. Like, it just kind of followed the same formula, like with each go, where it was oh, someone didn't think that he could do this one thing. He trains really well, has this fight, and then they show off this one ability that, oh, only like great masters can do this, and then he eventually like does it at the end as a finishing move.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, it's weird. They're very formulaic. It's kind of like if you've watched the first one, you've basically seen the premise for the others.
Okay, kind of hate it when sequels do that, but okay.
Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, I turned on Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3 as background noise.
Okay.
And like I had a decent enough time. Like there were some jokes that I caught that were pretty funny. Other than that, it's not one you really have to pay super close attention to. Like I just say, if you want something that's going to be good background noise, do that.
Okay. Oh, really quickly, I'm sorry, and we'll get back to talking about the trailer, I promise. But really quickly, have you did you know that Clifford the Big Red Dog is on Paramount Plus as well as
Are you
in theaters?
shitting me?
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus too.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna warn you right now, though. When he's just like a little puppy still, the CGI is just as bad as you thought it was.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I am biting my lip about how bad that looks.
Okay, good movie though?
Well, I haven't watched it all yet.
Oh.
Yeah. So far though, like I'm actually like it's very innocent. It's not like great, but like I feel it's like appreciating the source material so far.
Okay. Like innocent as in like Stuart Little levels of innocent?
Yes,
Okay.
I would say that. That's
I didn't
that's a
hate
great
Stuart.
comparison.
Yeah, I didn't hate Stuart Little's, but so
I actually
I'll check it
love
out.
Stuart Little.
Yeah. I okay, I might actually check it out tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
put that on while Iris is playing.
Yeah, there we go. I just need to finish it now. But getting back to the other thing that is red, Big Red, turning red. God damn it, not Big Red. Oh wow, that's gonna be one of those episodes.
Oh yeah. It starts
yeah.
early.
Yep, it starts very early. Anyway, so I mean, I know me and Caleb were talking about this earlier. This is like the first like thing that we've seen to where like it actually like we get the story that's happening here. Because the teaser trailer, I was like kind of confused as hell what was going on, because literally 1 minute she's just sitting in her classroom like talking to her teacher, and then the next she like turns into a red panda. I'm just like, what the hell just happened?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to know
like
like why it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wasn't completely sold on the movie until this trailer. Like it looks like it's going to be super funny. A lot of people are pointing out it's very similar to American Dragon. You remember that show?
I do, and I am so okay with that because I loved that show growing up.
Yeah, so it was like this thing that runs in the family of him being able to turn into a dragon. But like kind of just different here where it's the same thing, but what a lot of people were really appreciating, and I really appreciate too, is that this isn't one where it's like, oh, she obtains this ability and she has to hide it from friends and family while also dealing with this like social life and accepting of herself or trying to become the cool kid in school. Like it's she, like her friends know, her family knows, and she's just trying to get back to maybe that level of confidence that she originally had while trying to control her panda abilities. Like it's just trying to get back to where she was instead of like trying to obtain a higher level of status in the school system.
Yeah, which I appreciate. And I mean, what was your favorite moment of the trailer?
Ooh. Honestly, it was probably the dodgeball scene where she just freaking panda like hulked out and threw the threw the ball.
Dude,
And
I
it was
would
like on
hate to
fire.
see. Yeah, see, I would hate to have seen if the kid didn't duck. His head would have gotten taken off.
Probably. Oh gosh, like such a great little moment. And I love like the vibe of this too. It doesn't This is Pixar?
Yes.
I love how this doesn't quite feel like everything else Pixar's done. It kind of has an anime feel to it.
It does. Especially, I don't know, like, the animation feels a little different than what Pixar has done. Like, I mean, like, the humans still kind of look like Pixar humans, but I don't know, it feels a little different, and I like it.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen it, the way that I would describe this is if if you haven't seen the Mitchells versus the Machines animation, if that were to meet Pixar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
It's just that very like sharp, like everything seems to have like a lot of weight and like snaps into place, but also feels like not super two-dimensional. I don't know. I have no idea how to describe it other than that. Other than the Pixar
I
with
think
a little maybe even for those of you who haven't seen the Mitchells versus the Machines, like if it was like trying to like compare it to another movie. Maybe Into the Spider-Verse became a little bit more three-dimensional.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I like that.
It's Pixar, and Sony Animation's love child.
Yes. Oh yeah, because I forgot Mitchells versus the Machines is also Sony Animation.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would say my favorite moment was the freaking stall scene where the girl, so she turns into the red panda, and a girl, as she's like turning into the panda, comes out of the stall and is just like, oh, and before she can get to the finish her G, she just pushes her back into the stall with her paw. It's really freaking funny.
If this trailer has any indication to how well this is going to be written, like I'm so hyped. I'm so
Yeah, me
freaking
too.
hyped.
Yeah, when is it? So it comes out in 2022, right?
Ooh, good question. Dude, I'm so bad at paying attention to the release date.
Yeah, so March 11th of 2022.
Oh, hell yeah. I just might have to go check that out.
Yeah, same here. Future review? Probably.
Yeah. Definitely, probably.
Yeah, we could basically guarantee that. Yeah, any other thoughts about Turning Red trailer?
Not really.
What's your anticipation level?
Probably like a 7.5.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Like, I'm excited enough. Probably not going to be like, oh, I need to see it opening day or opening weekend or anything like that. But I'm excited enough to go see it when it's probably still in theaters.
Yeah, this might be like say I'm like clocking out of work and I'm just like, you know what, I kind of feel like seeing a movie today. This is what.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. So yeah, about 7.5.
All right.
What about you?
Same. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But so that's it for Turning Red trailer. Moving on, we just want to give our quick initial thoughts of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Those came out today, November 24th. You guys can go watch those right now, and you guys should do that because the show is freaking great.
Are we addressing spoilers, or are we going to try doing the spoiler free?
What do you think we should do?
That's a tough one because it came out today.
Yeah.
So by the time this gets released, Hawkeye will only have been out for 4 days.
Yeah, so let's keep the spoiler free.
Okay.
Yeah, overall, this show so far is not disappointing me at all. I know a lot of people have shared complaints that, it's called Hawkeye, but the first 2 episodes really don't share focus on Clint Barton. It's kind of more so Kate Bishop's storyline and introducing her, and I am absolutely okay with that. I think that's great. Her storyline is fantastic with her, her relationship with her mom. The way that she actually is introduced to Hawkeye, and how she picks up learning archery and all that fun stuff. It's really really well executed. I loved it. And the people like I said, people complaining about, oh, it's called Hawkeye, but it focuses on Kate Bishop. Guys, read the comics. She takes up the Elias of Hawkeye as well. There's 2 Hawkeyes in Marvel.
Yep.
So, I'm okay that Renner's Clint is not he's not very prominent in the first episode, but I feel he's very prominent in the second episode, just because at that point Kate and Clint have actually met each other. So yeah, everything that we're getting with the Tracksuit Mafia is great. I thought that they would seem very campy, and they are, but it's working. I'm loving it. Yeah, the dynamic between Renner and Steinfeld is great. They are amazing as Clint and Kate. Both are just incredible. I can't wait to see the rest of the show. The next 4 episodes should be amazing. Yeah, it's just amazing. Go watch it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Just to freaking top off what Rose said, it is very well executed. It does, honestly, I don't even think they needed to do a 2-episode release. They had me hooked off the first one.
Yeah, same here.
So just knowing that I had a second, I was just like, ooh, yeah.
It's understandable why they did it, though, because, they want to finish the series, right before Christmas instead of after.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
But everything that they've done so far has kept me intrigued. Everything, it's working in the best possible way. And I think this kicks off, action-wise, probably just as strong, if not stronger, than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I agree. Even though this series is definitely more grounded, because that's what I love about the show. I love grounded superheroes. That's why Hawkeye's my favorite. So the fact that it's just people fighting in alleyways. Of course, it's just Clint and Kate with their bow and arrows. I love that kind of shit, and they're doing great with it so far.
Yeah, they're doing super good. Definitely excited for the future of this show.
Yeah. So excited.
Yeah, but I think that's as far as we can get without getting into spoilers.
Yeah. So honestly, I feel once the show concludes, do you want to give our full because we never did it with any of the other Marvel shows, so I don't know.
We can make it a bonus episode if you want.
Dude, I'd actually be down for that if you're up for it.
I'd be down.
Dude, you know I can talk a lot about Hawkeye.
Yeah, we can definitely figure something like that out.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So maybe expect something big with Hawkeye for a future episode. We'll see. Or sorry, a bonus episode. But yeah, so moving on, before I get any more of a Hawkeye hard on.
I don't think that's possible.
You know what? Fair enough. Because yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dude. Honestly, when freaking Clint and Kate first started talking, when freaking my heart was racing. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Clint and Kate are actually meeting in the MCU. This is amazing. But okay,
Dude,
so yeah.
it sounds like you turn into that dude from Iron Man 3 where he's talking to his mom and he's like, Mom, I gotta go, something magical's happening.
Exactly, yep. That is the perfect way to explain it. But yeah, so moving on to, well, let's move on to our All Bros headliner of the evening. What do you say?
So let's do it.
All right. All right, so for this week's All Bros headliner, we will be breaking down the highly anticipated Ghostbusters Afterlife film.
Hell yeah. Dude, I don't know why, but when I went to go see this movie, Brielle was so confused. She's just like, didn't this movie come out like 2 years ago? I have no idea why she thinks that, but
I mean, it was pushed back like 4 damn times, so, understandable.
that's fair. I did not remember that.
Yeah, so, you know what? Understandable, Brielle. But so I think we forgot to share the question of the week, didn't we?
We sure did.
Yeah, we suck.
Yep.
Well, it was going to be. Well, wasn't it going to be? What is your favorite piece of ghostbusting equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Honestly, after this, I really like the RC trap.
Yeah, dude, that thing was cool as hell.
That was super cool. But other than that, I'm kind of partial to the proton pack.
Yeah, same here. Like, honestly, it will all day, every day will be the proton pack. That will always be my answer.
I was between that and the Ecto 1.
I don't know. It's hard to pick between those two because they're both such amazing pieces.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that we got to see a little bit more, like, the inner workings of Ecto 1.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I appreciated that as well. But before, so that was supposed to be our question of the week, but sorry guys, we did not post it because we
suck.
Yeah. But yeah, so moving on, Caleb, would you like to tell people how we break down movies on this podcast?
Hell yeah. All right. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal grade at the very end. Then all of that magic gets added up, thrown into our algorithm, and then spits out a letter grade for us.
Yeah, buddy.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
So, if you have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife,
the hell is wrong with you? We waited 32 years for this damn movie.
Go check this movie out. Come back and then listen to our breakdown. We are going to spoil the entire freaking movie. So if you have not seen it after this point and we spoil it for you, too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
So
no remorse here.
Yeah, no remorse. Without further ado, Rose, would you like to read off the synopsis for us?
I would love to. All right, so 32 years after stopping the I'm already screwing up. Despotic Spirit Vigo, the Ghostbusters have disbanded after a decline in supernatural activities in New York City. Egon Spengler has relocated to Somerville, Oklahoma, where Gozerian cultist Ivo Shandor's mining operations are located. Egon captures a bestial entity from one of the mines, aiming to lure a more powerful entity to his farm to trap it. When the trap fails, he runs inside his farmhouse, hiding the ghost trap in a secret compartment located beneath the living room floor. Egon struggles with an entity similar to his captive before his quarry and suffers a fatal heart attack. Callie, Egon's estranged daughter, and her 2 children, Trevor and Phoebe, are evicted from their city apartment and move to Egon's farm, which he has left to Callie. Trevor meets a local girl, Lucky, and gets a job at the diner where she works. Phoebe is enrolled in a summer science class at a local middle school. Her mentor is eccentric seismologist Gary Gruberson, whom Callie later dates. Janine Melnitz informs Callie that Egon has left enormous debts and the house and land are worthless. Phoebe discovers the house is haunted and finds a PKE meter under Egon's chair. An unseen ghost leads her to the hidden ghost trap, while Trevor finds and repairs the dilapidated, I think that's the word, dilapidated Ecto-1 vehicle. Wow.
I've been waiting so long to use this.
F you.
I'm so glad I finally got a use for it.
Screw you. Lucky takes Trevor to an old mine shaft with her friends where they encounter a glowing apparition. Phoebe shows the ghost trap to her new friend Podcast, and Gary reveals he is an aspiring Ghostbuster conducting his own investigation on Somerville. Despite not sitting on an epicenter, the town has been consistently experiencing strange earthquakes, which he suspects have a supernatural cause. Gary, Phoebe, and Podcast tamper with the ghost trap, and the bestial entity, revealed to be one of the demigod Gozer's minions, escapes into Shandor's mine. The ghost leads Phoebe to an underground lair where Egon kept his equipment. Realizing the ghost is her grandfather, Phoebe repairs Egon's proton pack under his direction. She and Podcast test it the next day when they encounter Muncher, a metal-eating ghost, but Muncher initially escapes capture and flees into Somerville. After Phoebe informs Trevor that they are descendants of a Ghostbuster, the trio chase Muncher into the Ecto-1, and successfully capture him. However, the police arrest them for property damage, confiscating the Ecto-1 and other ghost-busting gear. Phoebe calls the Ghostbusters number and reaches Ray Stantz. He explains that when Egon's teammates doubted his belief in the coming apocalypse, he then stole the car and gear and moved to Somerville. Trevor, Phoebe, Lucky, and Podcast find a temple dedicated to Gozer inside the mine. They also find Ivo Shandor in suspended animation and a device Egon set up to contain any potential incursion by Gozer, whose escape attempts are causing the earthquakes. Gary and Callie are possessed by Gozer's minions, Vince Clortho and Zool the Gatekeeper, respectively, and go to Shandor's mine. The Keymaster destroys Egon's containment system, allowing Gozer to manifest and Shandor to awaken. The former then kills the latter. The kids discover Egon's plan to trap Gozer, and, donning the Ghostbusters jumpsuits, they enter the mine to enact it. Phoebe distracts Gozer and Podcast traps Zool, freeing Callie and causing Gozer's form to falter. They flee the mine to Egon's farm, drawing Gozer there, but the trap fails and Gozer frees Zool. Zool possesses Lucky and Gozer is restored. Ray arrives with Peter Venkman and Winston Zedmore to aid the Spanglers and their friends, but Gozer overpowers them by uncrossing their proton streams. Phoebe battles Gozer herself, and Egon's ghost materializes beside his granddaughter to help. Phoebe and the Ghostbusters restrain Gozer while Trevor charges the trap with his proton pack, and the traps are triggered, capturing Gozer and its minions within them. Egon reconciles with his family and friends before vanishing into the afterlife. After getting acquainted with the group, the surviving original Ghostbusters return to New York City with the Ecto-1 and equipment. In a mid-credit sequence, Venkman and Dana Barrett play with Venkman's ESP cards and shock machine, while a post-credit sequence reveals Winston as a wealthy family man who uses his resources to maintain the Ghostbusters properties. He has the Ecto-1 completely restored and placed in their old firehouse. In the final shot, a warning light is shown blinking on the firehouse's Ecto-containment unit. Oh wow, how did I screw that one up so bad? Ugh.
A for effort.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, starting off with this one, the story. We are sitting at a 91 for this one.
Hell yeah. I feel that this is a very good direction to take a Ghostbusters 3 film. I feel it's kind of hard to I don't know. I would struggle taking it any other direction, knowing that unfortunately, we lost Harold Ramis, so it'd be hard to do anything bringing the original three back to be like main plot points of the film, just because you'd still feel like you'd be missing someone. So the idea that it's focused on, Egon's family with his daughter, his granddaughter, and his grandson, and how his granddaughter Phoebe discovers that he was a Ghostbuster, discovers how much he loves science, and because how much she relates to her grandfather. Just it's very heartfelt, and it's very based on family, and I really liked what they did with this film for a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I really dug it too. I don't know. They did a really good job with this. Like, this is exactly what I feel Force Awakens had the potential to be.
Yes, because it doesn't spit in the face of the original.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say that even though I actually like The Force Awakens, but like Caleb said, this is the right way to do that kind of movie.
Yeah, like they definitely, like, I think the reason, because out of the two of us, I was the one that was a little bit harsher on the story, and the only reason that I was that harsh was because it kind of, in a way, was a rehashing of the original story, but it made sense. It didn't, like, I think it hit all the notes that it needed to, but they made everything make sense. So, like, one of the things that they incorporated, which I thought was really cool, the mine that they got all of the metal, like, there was a mine with some metal or some sort of like ancient metal that was supposed to harness the power for Gozer, or kind of summon Gozer, the big bad ghost from the original. So the way that they portrayed this was really cool. Or the way that they justified the building that Gozer was summoned to in the original was built using the metal mined from the what do you want to call it? What is it called? Springfield? It's not Springfield.
Somerville.
Somerville. It was
nice
built...
Simpsons reference, though.
I know.
I like it.
I've been watching Simpsons like way too much. Yeah, so the way that they summoned Gozer was with the metal mined from Somerville. And so that's why, like, they were able to summon that in New York. And so that's why the things were happening where they were happening in Somerville. And I really like that. Like, just that, like, okay, then why did they come in to New York? Like, why were they trying to summon that lady in New York? And just the way that the justification of that was just like, oh, chef's kiss.
It really was.
And it also, like, explained really well, like, what happened to the Ghostbusters. Like, yeah, they tried making a business of ghost busting. Business was really good, and then the hauntings just became slower and slower and slower because Gozer was kind of the head of it all.
Yeah.
And even, like, Egon was apparently stated, like, none of these small hauntings matter anymore compared to this big one, this like world-ending one. So I thought like all of that, the way that they were just able to tie in the original and pull all of that other shit off was just so well done.
Yeah, it really was. And I just really quickly want to talk about the ending to this film, because it has been a while since I freaking ugly cried in a film. When Egon's ghost first shows up, I was like, like in awe. But as it like went on, and you see that, like, especially like when it like starts panning out, and it's kind of like a, like it's Phoebe and Egon, but then they pan it out to where like it's like actually like the 4 original Ghostbusters lined up again, and that's when I freaking started like really like happy crying. And then when they like say one final goodbye to Egon, I just freaking lost it. It's like, no.
Oh my gosh. Dude, talk about like expert craftsmen. Like, they made Egon such a significant part of this movie, and there's no other way that you could do it.
No.
Like, it was so well done. So well done. And he played a much bigger role in this than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, same here. Like, honestly, I wasn't expecting them to actually like him to be like the opening sequence. I mean, like, you never actually see his face because, of course they got to hide that because unfortunately Harold Ramis passed away. But for what they were able to do with everything at the beginning, with him, hiding, catching the one ghost, hiding the trap, dealing with like everything that was going on, like, honestly, camera work alone was actually really good with what they had to do with hiding his face.
Yeah, it was really well done. And the fact that they like I figured that they were going to kind of like bring him back in some way, but I wasn't expecting them to like do a full reveal of him as a ghost.
I wasn't either.
Like, that was just
God,
like,
did I love it.
So good. Like, because Phoebe's like using the proton pack and just blasting the shit out of Gozer, and then like is losing her footing, but then like you just see these ghost hands grab on. I'm like, no way are they going to do this? And I thought they were just going to show the hands and maybe like pan up to like Phoebe's face, where maybe her face was like right in line with his jumpsuit, and you would just see Spangler on it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So I thought we were just going to see that and then have like a reaction moment from the original Ghostbusters. But no, like when they panned up to his face, I was just like, are you shitting me? Like, this is freaking awesome. And then like with how much of a role he had after that, like they did not hesitate to show his face again at all. And I loved that.
Yeah, and like kudos to them for like getting that ghost to really look like Harold Ramis, because God, they killed it.
You know what I'm willing to bet that they did? I'm willing to bet that because how long ago did Harold Ramis pass?
He passed away in 1 second.
Like, was it recent or was it like a while ago?
It was a while ago.
Okay. So what I'm willing to bet that they did is they took a picture of Harold Ramis and then just aged it like the best that they could, and then did like all the other things, like adding the beard and the hair. And I think that they were really smart with adding a beard onto him, because that's the biggest thing that I think de-aging messes up. It's always the lower face. They get the upper face like usually spot on, but it's the lower face that they screw up. So I'm glad that they were like, just hide that shit.
No, and honestly, it made sense because Harold Ramis got when he in his older years, it was very rare when you saw him without a beard. I think he always had a beard.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
so it
realize
worked,
that. I
actually.
thought that they.
No, you're good.
Okay. Then
So yeah,
that
he worked
actually
more.
tracks.
So he unfortunately passed away in 2014.
Well, that's fairly recent.
Oh, well, okay.
Or
Well,
I
I don't know
consider
your
that recent.
I don't know what your version of fairly recent and kind of like a long time ago is.
Okay, my idea of like a long time ago or like a while ago was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, he died in the 2010s.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, like everything that they did regarding him I thought was really, really well done. Also a little bit glad that they didn't make him talk.
I was very happy about that. It would have been weird, like
Yeah.
someone's voice other than Harold Ramis coming out of Egon Spengler's ghost.
Yeah. I think they just did a really, really excellent job with handling Spengler. Because you can't, like, there was no other way to handle this, I feel.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree.
Because you couldn't just not have him in it at all. Because Ghostbusters, especially if you're bringing back the original cast members.
Yeah.
And it's Ghostbusters. Like, even if you didn't want to break, like, even if you didn't, like, just wanted to ignore him or just be like, oh, he was dead. It's Ghostbusters. Like, you need to bring him back as a ghost. Like,
yeah.
So, just...
You always, yeah. No, yeah, you always relate Ghostbusters to the original 4 Ghostbusters.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I thought that was really well done. And even though this was kind of a rehashing of the original story, I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah,
Like,
same,
I think
same here.
where Force Awakens suffered is that they were retelling A New Hope without addressing that they were recreating A New Hope. In this, they very much address that this has happened before in the 80s.
Yes, yeah.
So so good.
I'll admit I was very shocked that when Phoebe calls Ray, and she's just like you were and what was it? You and Egon Spengler were good friends, right? And he just says Egon Spengler can rot in hell. I'm like, God damn, what the hell happened to you guys?
With that, it didn't feel like it was too aggressive either. Like, it just felt like the way that he said it was just kind of like how guys approach it.
Fair.
Like, you could tell that there was a lot of sadness behind what he said.
Yeah.
Which tracks. I mean, Spengler just kind of packed up and ran.
Yeah, no,
and so they
true.
like you could tell like these guys were hurt by it.
Yeah.
And then like his attitude changed the second that he heard that Egon was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, that scene proves that Dan Aykroyd still has got it with acting.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, even though it is a rehashed story, it is very well done and makes sense, like why they brought it back.
Yeah. And let's hope that they keep Ghostbusters back, because we all know what happened last time when they tried to bring it back. Fair enough reaction. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so story is sitting at a 91. Moving on over to writing, we are sitting at a 91.5.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, just slightly higher. What did you think of the writing overall?
The writing was super solid, honestly. I'd say the only one that I had a problem with when it came to the writing, was Finn Wolfhard's character, Trevor. I don't know, his writing just came across like his character honestly just came across as like kind of really I'm just gonna say really bitchy.
A little bit, yeah. Like if there was a character that could have easily been written out, it was Finn.
Yeah, which sucks because Finn is a good actor.
Yeah. His character was completely unnecessary for this.
The only reason he is there is because he's the only one that knows how to work on cars. He's the only one that knew how to fix up Ecto 1.
Yeah, which I think you could have just done that with anyone.
Hell, actually, I think it would have been really cool if they brought like Paul Rudd's character Gary to the farmhouse, and that's when they discover like say we write Trevor out of the story. It's just Phoebe. She's an only child, and she brings Gary to the barn, and they discover Ecto 1, and he freaks out, and he's just like, "Can I please work on this? Like, can I please fix it up?"
I wouldn't have even gone that far. I would have just made Phoebe like really mechanically inclined, and then and then you just have like an extra scene where like basically just take out all of the freaking Finn Wolfhard scenes and throw in more ghost interactions with Egon, and having him guide Phoebe into fixing the Ecto 1.
Okay, fair.
Because I mean, he did that with the damn
Proton pack.
yeah. So it's like, why couldn't you have done that with the the Ecto 1?
I mean, he technically kind of did that for Trevor though. When he's like keeps trying to start it up, and when he finally says, "Come on, darling," Egon his ghost fuses the fuses together that were
Oh,
yeah.
I don't count that. Like, I think that would have worked with Phoebe just as well.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, like, I didn't hate his character, but just the writing wasn't that great. Yeah. I mean, how did you feel? Okay, because I want your opinion. When it jumps into the, like, of course, like, the beginning is just, like, kind of establishing, like, what happened with Egon. Well, technically, it's not said that is Egon, but I kind of figure... Well, no, not everybody knows, but, it sets up his character well when you do actually find out that was Egon. But when we're introduced to, what's her name? What's the mom's name?
Callie.
So when we're introduced to Callie, Trevor, and Phoebe, I don't know about you, but honestly, like, it feels like so freaking abrupt. Like, I feel like we really don't get like a whole chance, like a big chance to understand who this family is, because literally it jumps right into the mom giving Callie giving Trevor a haircut, Phoebe fixing an electrical system. They get evicted, and then bam, they're already at the farmhouse. It feels like we kind of missed like a little bit of what should have happened before that.
Honestly, I feel like the beginning of this movie drug on a little slow, so I wasn't super upset that they kind of rushed the intro to the new main characters.
Okay, that's fair. No, I absolutely agree. It did drag on for a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still happy with my story grade. Like what I gave
as am I. It's just...
that was just one of those things that, and I think it definitely could have been a writing issue.
Yeah.
And this is where I feel like getting rid of Trevor. That's his name, right?
Yes.
Finn Wolfhard's okay. Yeah, this is where I think getting rid of Trevor would have really helped, because then you could get into more ghost-busting stuff. And not this like ridiculous teen romance shit.
Yeah. Hell, honestly, I would have taken it if it was just they somehow still met Lucky, and it was just Lucky, Podcast, and Phoebe. Because I actually really liked Lucky.
Yeah, I did too. But I don't think you needed to like force her in through Trevor. I think you could have just gone through maybe Phoebe and Podcast were hanging out at the diner and Lucky overheard and was just kind of interested in like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just
yeah,
wanted
exactly.
to be part of it. Like that, you could have so easily written Trevor out.
Yeah. Nothing against Finn Wolfhard, great actor. It's just the character of Trevor could have been written much better.
Yeah, like the only thing that he did of any sort of significance in this, besides fixing the Ecto-1, was he was someone that like drove the car.
Yeah, that, and he's the one that was able to turn on the big trap at the end.
Yeah, but you could have
yeah.
done that with anyone. Podcast could have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for Podcast. He never actually got to hold a proton pack.
I know, it's such bullshit.
Yeah, poor kid.
Yeah. So I wish that they basically would have just split up whatever Trevor did between Podcast and Phoebe, and maybe given Lucky a bit more to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I thought like Lucky was gonna be the one character that I feel was unnecessary. No, it's Trevor, or like the one that I liked the least out of the 4 new Ghostbusters. Technically, yeah, no, it's Trevor.
Yeah, she kind of gets the Ernie Hudson treatment.
She does, but I mean, what
Which
she
is-
is given, she does great with.
Yeah, which is a little on. I mean, I'll say this: it's borderline racist because she is the only black character.
I mean, I guess you could say that with the 2016 one as well, because Leslie Jones's character Patty, it's the same thing.
I feel like she had more to do, though.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean I mean, it seems that it's always the black actor, or African American actor, that is like not the scientist.
Right.
It's kind of interesting. But yet with Ghostbusters Afterlife, you can argue that because Trevor isn't a scientist either.
Yeah.
What?
I'll give
No,
you
no,
that.
no. Yeah, I mean,
I
podcast
think they were just so for pushing for 4 characters.
Yeah, which
that
I get it.
Yeah, I think that they didn't need to do that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm pretty sure we all would have been perfectly fine if there was only 3 Ghostbusters, or 3 new Ghostbusters, and then 3 alive old Ghostbusters with the 4th, Egon.
Yeah.
Like, I think we would have been perfectly okay.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree.
But, I mean, that's just like a minor writing issue, because, I mean, obviously, it's just, we're a half point above the story.
Yeah. So, definitely liked the writing a little more.
Yeah, just a hair. Just a hair more.
Little hair on your chinny chin chin.
Everything else, though, I think was really well done. Like the dynamic between Phoebe and Podcast, it did have this sense of awkwardness that they quickly got over.
Yeah, can we talk about Phoebe's jokes? Because those were amazing. The best one to me is the "What do you call a dead polar bear? Anything you want because it can't hear you."
Oh, dude, not even like that, and I freaking loved what they were saying between the, Callie and Phoebe, where they're just like, oh, just, hey, don't be yourself.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you appreciate the like Paul Rudd's character didn't like even though and then like this kind of goes with acting too but like in a way Paul Rudd's character didn't like overshadow like the like actual like main Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I actually really like that they kind of pushed him to the side a little bit.
Yeah, I was okay with it.
Very reminiscent of, oh shit, I forget his name. The original Keymaster.
Oh, Rick Moranis?
Yes. Like, didn't give him too much to do, but just like a nice background character.
Yes. Yes.
So I really dug that. Speaking of Paul Rudd, though, did you catch the Ant-Man nod?
I don't know if I did.
I don't know if it was like an Ant-Man nod, but it was just the way that when he was going through the Walmart and picking out ice cream, all of the flavors that he was looking at were Baskin Robbins.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. Yeah, okay, yeah. That would actually be a really nice nod to Ant-Man.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I'm just like,
That's cool.
they did it. Like, it's just something so stupid, but I'm just like, hey. Oh. Anyway. But yeah, everything else, like, the movie really picked up the second they started getting into ghost busting.
Yeah, when I feel when they like honestly after Phoebe fixes up the proton pack and they first shoot off the proton stream when they're in that that abandoned God, what does podcast call it? Rust City, whatever. I feel that's like when the movie really finds its footing.
Oh yeah. Dude, how funny would it be if it was like that was the 46 minute mark?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Podcast has a podcast that apparently didn't find its voice until episode 46. That'd be really funny.
That would be amazing. That would be freaking hilarious.
It's like 46 minutes in, like the movie really finds its voice after that. Dude, I would shit my pants if that's
That'd be,
what
you
happened.
planned that, Reitman, didn't you? You planned that, Jason Reitman.
Dude, the second that movie comes out on like streaming or DVD, like whenever you get it, I'm gonna skip, like replay it, skip to the 46 minute mark just to see what goes on.
Oh, I love it.
Trying to think of anything else. Like just comedic bits were really well done. Like we addressed, like everything done with Egon at the very end was really well done, and nothing felt too out of place.
No,
And I think we have addressed it. The only writing that I feel was even a little bit wasted was Trevor.
Yeah. Poor Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, but it's hard to drop the writing grade any more than a 91.5, just because like his character was that insignificant. Like
Yeah.
his character doesn't affect the movie in any way, shape, or form. Can't even really affect the grade.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a good point there.
Yeah, but yeah, that 91.5 for writing, and getting into acting, it's a little bit lower. We're sitting at an 87.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, so I think honestly the one that dropped it the most for me was Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
For exactly the reasons that we addressed. Like, his character was just, like, so wasted that it did kind of bring me out of the movie anytime he was on screen.
Yeah, just like he bitched about so much stuff.
Yeah, right?
Like, God, what is that scene when they're the mom is taking Trevor to work and then Phoebe to school, and he asks like if she's been working on her jokes, and she says like, what's the
It was the Adam joke.
yeah, and just I don't know. I feel like the comment that he says this kid's just kind of me. He's just like, mom's just like, what? That's funny. He's like, no, it's not. Drop me off here. I don't want to be seen with you guys.
Yeah, like, some of that stuff felt pretty odd. But, I mean, it could have been worse.
No, yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
I think the one scene that I was, like, ready to just, like, lose my mind over was when he was working and doing the inventory. Like, that just felt like such a stupid scene.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it just wasn't performed very well. Like, neither Lucky nor Trevor were very good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would just be me, but I'd have a hard time acting if I had to act inside of a freezer.
I feel like he's acted in worse, though.
It's
like,
true.
worse conditions than a freezer.
Okay, fair.
Um,
Also, I'd hate to have to do that kind of inventory. F that.
Yeah, no joke. Alright, we didn't address, like, the actors in this yet, but first up, we got our main character, Phoebe, who is played by McKenna Grace, which I feel she summoned her inner young Sheldon.
She did, and I think that's really funny considering that she actually plays a character on Young Sheldon.
Yeah, like, when she was talking, I got major young Sheldon vibes. And I'm like, she probably just got, like, some direction from the kid who plays young Sheldon.
Yeah. Ian Armitage.
Yeah. So I thought that was really funny. Next up, I would say podcast would be the next big character.
I would say that.
Like, everyone's just kind of second fiddle to McKenna, but podcast was kind of her right hand, who's portrayed by Logan Kim. Then we got Trevor, who is portrayed by Finn Wolfhard. Gruberson, who is played by Paul Rudd. Callie, Phoebe and Trevor's mom, who is played by Carrie Coon. Lucky, who is played by Celeste O'Connor. And then we got the original Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, and Winston Zeddemore. Is it Zedmore or just
it's Zeddemore.
Zeddemore?
Wait, no. Sorry, no, it's Zedmore.
Zedmore? Okay, yeah. So Winston Zedmore, who was played by Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, respectively.
Actually, you know what? I don't know. I've heard it both ways. I'm pretty sure. I've heard it Zedmore and Zeddemore. God, now I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to go with Zeddemore. Yeah.
Dude, one thing I'm surprised at looking through this, looking through the cast list, I'm pretty sure Egon was like a completely CGI character. They don't have anyone credited as playing Egon.
Really? Not even like the actual like person that they used at the beginning?
I'm not seeing Egon on this list.
Wow. Okay. I mean, the ghost at the ending, that one makes sense. That, of course, that's all CGI. I'm kind
I
of
feel
shocked
like they would have someone there for reference at least.
Fair. I feel if they ever do list the guy that plays him at the beginning, they'd probably just put his title as Dirt Farmer.
That's what I thought that they would do, but they have the Ghost Farmer. But let's see if this guy looks at anything like. Maybe. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. So it seems. I mean, you were the one that found this out. We took a small pause, but apparently, the Ghost Farmer is what they're referring to Egon as.
Yeah.
That's
they should refer to him as the Dirt Farmer, considering that's what everybody called him.
Yeah, that's what I thought he would be. Like, I thought, well, for one, I thought they'd put him as Egon, and if they didn't put him as Egon, I thought they would put him as the Dirt Farmer.
Yeah, right?
But no, they call him the Ghost Farmer, and he was portrayed by Bob Gunton, who did the scene at the beginning and the mocap.
Yes,
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Interesting. Anyway, so that's who played Egon, technically.
Yep.
Alright. So who out of this cast was your top three? I have an idea of who your top three is, and I'll be surprised if we don't match a little bit. Okay. Not doing original Ghostbusters.
No, of course not. No. They're in the movie for like 5 minutes, so no.
Okay, so top three.
Should I do 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3?
Do 3, 2, 1.
Okay, number 3, I'm gonna give to Podcast. Freaking loved this kid. I mean, having a podcast really made me appreciate him even more. So, I appreciated his work, and I appreciate that his podcast really found its voice around episode 46.
Dude, I freaking love the way that he, like, people were like talking at him, like with Gruberson when they were walking into the house, and he's basically like Podcast is sitting there with his mic, and he's saying like. Basically just describing what the house is like, and Gruberson's like, what are you doing? And he's just like, I'm painting a scene.
Yeah. I loved it. But yeah, so he was great. Number 2, I'm going to actually give to Lucky. I don't know what it is. I actually really liked her character. I wish they would have done more with her, but everything that we got, I really, really, really liked with her. I loved the part where she just freaking kicked open the door and just blasted that proton pack at Gozer. It was such a badass moment. And then number 1, I feel this is probably going to be the same for both of us. It's going to go to Phoebe. Incredible character. McKenna Grace really, like you said, brings out her young Sheldon. While also feeling like her grandfather. She really does feel like Egon Spengler, just a younger version, and I loved it. Her quips, her jokes were amazing. Number 1 for sure. Loved her character.
Yeah. I'll definitely agree with you. She's definitely top spot for me as well. But my top 2, or my other 2 are actually different than yours.
Oh, hell yeah.
So my number 2, I would actually give to Podcast.
Okay.
I thought he was just a really fun character. And I know he was just kind of comedic relief, but he played it in such a way that it wasn't annoying, which I feel is really easy to do with comedic characters. Or not comedic characters, with characters that are very obviously the comic relief. And then my number 3, I'm actually going to give to Gruberson, who was played by Paul Rudd.
Hell yeah.
I
Love
thought
it.
the way that he was kind of the introduction to the Ghostbusters for Phoebe and podcast was really great. I loved the comment that he made to podcast when he said, like, I'm surprised you don't know who the Ghostbusters are, and podcast is just like, I'm so ashamed. Like, that was something I'm surprised. I'm like, you like the paranormal, like, how do you not know the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, that's my top 3.
I love it. How did you feel? Okay, talking about like characters that didn't make our top 3. How did you feel about Carrie Coon?
I thought she did good. Honestly, like, she just didn't crack my top 3. She honestly probably sitting around 4 or 5.
Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, she'd probably be my number 5, and Paul Rudd would be number 4.
Yeah. My number 4, like, again, 4 or 5 would probably go to Lucky.
Okay.
But I mean, Lucky wasn't bad. It was just she was also just kind of a very weird side character. Like, I completely forgot that she was part of the plan when they were facing off against Gozer at the damn farm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
That's
she
kind of
just
sad
comes like,
that she will. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Like, the way that she just comes kicking out of the door, I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was disappointing that she didn't get to ride Necto 1. That was disappointing.
Yeah, I wasn't too upset about it, just because, like I said, I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like when you strap on an original Ghostbusters jumpsuit, you should have the honor to actually ride a Necto 1. That's just me.
Yeah. So, like, honestly, she's probably leaning more towards my number 5 than Callie is.
Okay, that's fair. I getcha.
But I'm like, it just depends on the circumstances that they would switch places.
But then Trevor is 6 for both of us, I'm assuming.
Trevor is like down below the original.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. Sorry, Finn.
Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the sheriff is probably higher than Trevor is for me.
Why? Because he got to deliver the classic line.
Yeah, who you gonna call?
That was great.
Dude, I don't know why, but there's this like bit in a Family Guy episode where Peter was talking about, like, when they say the title of the movie in the movie, and like they cut to this scene where they're watching this movie and he says the title and he's just like, he said the thing. And like, that's exactly what I did in my head when he said, who you gonna call? I'm like, he said the thing.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, so acting, like we said, sitting at an 87. Moving on over to character development, we're sitting at an 87.5, and you're gonna have to explain to me why you went up so damn high.
What am I at?
You're at a 95.
Damn, I didn't know I gave it that high.
Yeah, I was down at like an 80. So you're gonna have to explain this to me.
Honestly, I don't even really know if I can explain it. You might have to be changing that score, old friend.
I'll have to do
that. Because I'm assuming we both did Phoebe, right?
Yes.
Okay. So from the get-go, you can definitely tell that Phoebe is an outcast. She doesn't really like talking to a lot of people. She doesn't have any friends. Even in her old in the old place where they used to live before they moved to Egon's farm. But you can definitely tell that, you know, she's a social outcast, but she loves science. She loves working with, you know, like, in that regard, that kind of stuff. So just watching her story from starting off feeling like, you know, like I said, I'm going to keep saying social outcast, to her discovering who her grandfather is and where her love for science comes from, and discovering that she is not kind of like the weird one of the family, that there is actually someone that is just like her in the Spangler family. And the fact that going towards the ending of her actually like basically making her grandfather very proud, and even though she got a little help from him defeating Gozer. It's like a simple I'd say it's a simple character growth, but it's executed very well. Or not character growth, character development.
Yeah, well, same thing.
Yeah. So realistically, I'd probably do like an 85. I don't know why I said a 95.
I mean, hell, I didn't mean to talk you down that far, but...
No, you got a point.
Yeah, Phoebe... Like, I think she had a decent enough arc. Like you said, just kind of... like, it wasn't even really much of an arc, because she doesn't develop all that much. She just kind of sticks to her guns, more or less, throughout the entire thing. Kind of has some growth when it comes to her friendships, and
Yes.
maybe not pushing people away like she does, or at least like Egon did.
Yeah.
And so it's just like seeing her communicate a little bit better. And one thing that I'm wondering if they wrote her with autism, because the way that she was explaining the podcast, like when podcast brought up like, oh, how do you feel about Gruber and your mom, and she's just like, oh, I hate it, like it makes me disgusting, but I don't show emotions like other people do, like on the outside, but on the inside I'm throwing up. And I mean, I don't think that's like something special to autistic people, but it could be.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really cool way to look at it. I like that. I never thought of that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's like how they wrote it, and then with, I don't know, and just maybe just the way that Egon was originally portrayed, maybe that's something that they were getting at as well with him.
Yeah.
Like just like an idea that was sparked. So anyway, just the only thing that got me, that made me think, oh, maybe this isn't that, was when she's like, oh, I work really well when I'm overstimulated. And I'm like, I have not met a single autistic person that works well when they're overstimulated. And I'm like, you probably have something else then. But yeah, overall, I don't think she had too much of an arc other than trying to explain like the ghost thing to everyone.
Yeah, which I mean, would you believe her?
It probably would have been a tough sell.
Yeah.
I think Ghost for me in general would be a really tough sell. Like even the chessboard, I probably would have justified that away by being like, oh, you probably just moved it in your sleep.
Fair.
But once she saw the chess piece move, that's what I've been like, okay, ghosts.
Yeah. It's like, and I am moving and burning down this house.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, decent enough. Nothing too special.
Yeah.
So now it is sitting at an 82.5.
Yeah, that feels better.
All right, getting on over to effects. We are sitting at a 94.5.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, the effects were great in this film. It's definitely more of a it feels kind of like a smaller scale Ghostbusters film, like if you compare it to like the second one, at least a little bit. Just because like it takes place in this just kind of like rural town. It's not taking place in New York City anymore. But any chance that they got to actually shoot off the proton gun looked incredible. The proton stream coming out looked amazing. Like, I don't know. I feel it's sometimes like hard to mess that up, but whenever I see it going, it just gets me freaking hyped up, and it looks amazing. Honestly, I mean, all of the CGI effects looked really good, as well as the practical effects. I know, as far as I know, the some shots of the terror dogs were actually practical.
I absolutely believe that. Like, they looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, I almost would have believed that they just took the original models from the 80s Ghostbuster and just repurposed them. Like, slapped on a fresh coat of paint or something like that.
I mean, if that is the case, that's freaking cool. But I mean, I don't know what they did with those after they finished filming for that original film.
Yeah. Probably, like, covered in cement outside of Bill Murray's house.
There we go. I do want to. I noticed this in my second viewing of this. And I'm assuming this is probably just because like the proton packs are so old, and like stuff changes over time for freaking 30 years. Did you notice that like the red lights on the back of the proton pack, like the red lights on the bottom, like the 4 circles?
Yes.
Did you notice that they were like flashing like very fast?
Yes.
So as far I remember that in the first 2, it's supposed to go kind of slow. It goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's one single light going through each hole. And so it was kind of weird seeing it just like all going like super fast. Like it looked like just one big like giant red blinking light.
Well, maybe Egon made some modifications. You don't know.
Okay, that's true. Okay, true. Okay, okay. That would make sense. Well, okay, yeah, no, never mind. I was gonna say that would make sense with his pack, but what about the other 3s? But okay, yeah, he could have made those modifications years before he decided to leave Ghostbusters. Okay, I'm just being very critical. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I like saw. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Dude, that is such a minor thing to gripe about.
It's not a gripe. It's just like something I noticed.
Could you imagine going to like the special effects or the freaking props department being like, hey, yeah, see these lights? They're blinking a little too fast. I'm like, that wasn't even like the biggest thing that they had an issue with. So getting into some of like the other like special effects, because like you said, those hell dogs were
Terror dogs
were a bit more practical, like split a bit more. I really liked Muncher, who like that looked super good. Like, if you probably could have told me that was partially practical, and I probably would have believed you.
Yeah, honestly, you can definitely tell that Muncher is like the Slimer of this movie, and I was totally okay with that. Like, honestly,
I'm bummed
like
we didn't get to see Slimer.
I didn't really miss him. I don't know why. Like, Muncher sufficed for me.
That's fair. Maybe Muncher's like close relative.
Yeah, see, there we go. At least we got the Stay Puffs back.
That is true. I did very much enjoy seeing the Stay Puffs.
Dude, the fact that freaking some of them that are riding on the like floor vacuum and they run over one of them and you can see like the white streak on the floor. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my.
It got dark very fast, that scene.
It totally did. Them walking, or one of them walking across the damn barbecue, just melting.
And then the freaking one like skewing two of them and roasting them over the open flame. I'm like, what the hell?
I actually really like that scene a lot. I thought that one was so much fun.
I don't know why, but the part that like had me like freaking laughing my ass off was when the first one like falls and you can see like the marks of the shelf like appear on his stomach.
I know.
Why, that was really funny.
Oh, that was so good. Everything looked like really freaking good. I think there were some times where it looked a bit cartoony, like the mini puffs. They looked pretty cartoony.
Yeah, but I wasn't really bothered
ghosts.
by that. Yeah. I feel that's a good way to explain it. Hell, everything that they did with Gozer looked really, really good.
Yeah. Like you said, the proton blasts looked really good. The traps looked really good. Yeah, there wasn't anything that looked out of place or rubbery in the slightest.
Yeah.
And
absolutely agree.
Like, everyone freaking heard us gush about how Egon looked.
Yeah.
Like,
that
was
alone
awesome.
Sets these effects super high.
Yeah, no joke. I forget when Egon, or when Phoebe and Egon are like standing next to the originals, and all the other ones are kind of like looking at him and like nodding, or like kind of tapping and like, look over here. Was that from the original?
Yes, kind of. Because that's when they like start to cross the streams.
Where they tap each other and like look over.
Yes. I feel like it's
why were they doing that in the original? We're just gonna have to watch the original, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Hashtag worth it.
Yeah, exactly. It's always worth it watching that original masterpiece of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we said, everything looked crisp as hell.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, like I said, we gave this 94.5. Getting into music, we are sitting at a 9.
Yeah, I had a feeling you weren't going up for a 10.
Not quite. Not... Okay.
Understandable.
The Ghostbusters theme is iconic and will get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
The rest of the soundtrack, on the other hand, just did not do it for me.
It's many nods to the original movie. Like, I feel like a lot of the soundtrack is just like the classic like, you know, like da 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 da. It's like just like little bits of the original soundtrack, which I loved. But what sets it at a 10 for me, considering that we count like actual like sound effects and just the use of sound in these films, is the freaking proton pack first turning on and hearing the blast. But what really sets it for me is when you first hear the sirens of Ecto 1 and roaring at their finest, and oh my god, I got a Ghostbusters boner at that moment. Oh.
Dude, I actually grew an appreciation for the Ecto 1 sirens, because I originally thought that they were so annoying.
Oh, I love them. God damn it. I've loved them from the day I heard them, but you know what? I can understand that.
Yeah. So when they started like using the sirens, I loved it. Like I absolutely loved it. And the only complaint that I really have about that is I wish that they would have used it in a different way. Not necessarily sure how they should have done it or how I'd have liked to see it happen, but I don't know. There's just some things here and there that I'm like, probably could have used it a little bit later.
No, I get you. Understandable.
Yeah, but other than that, like, yeah, the proton packs getting turned on was freaking awesome. All of that stuff was great. The like I said, the only thing that killed it for me was the rest of the soundtrack.
No, that's fair. It's understandable. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then anything else on music that you wanted to talk about?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to discuss audio when it's just like, oh, it was good, but just like,
Yeah.
Moving on over to costumes, I feel like you're gonna kick my ass over this one. We're at a 9.
You know what? No, I can't really kick your ass because I get it. Like, it's the same thing with, like, music. I'm not going to kick your ass.
Yeah. Like, the costumes were killer. It was a little bit weird that Egon had four other suits.
I think what it was, I gotta watch the original again because I forget how many that they actually like have hanging up in their like certain, because each of them has their own like section. By
Oh,
the
like
fire pole.
the lockers.
Yes.
Okay.
And I forget how many jumpsuits are hanging in each one of theirs.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, then that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
A little bit easier to forgive. Doesn't make sense why some of them wouldn't have Spangler written on them, though.
They all had Spangler written on them.
Not podcasts.
Well, no, he ripped his. He took. You can actually tell that he took the Spangler one off because you can see little bits of the oh my god, what is it? The patch still there, and then he just tore that off and wrote podcast on it.
Oh. Like, I knew he did that. I didn't see the rest of the patch leftover stuff. So I just assumed.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there was a patch there before.
Oh, but even Lucky's said Spangler.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice that worth a shit. All right. I mean that tracks.
It'd be kind of weird if he had like ones that didn't say Spangler. It'd be kind of weird to have like a no name.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I noticed Phoebe's said Spangler. I noticed podcast said podcast. I didn't notice like the ripped up patch spot or anything. I wasn't. Lucky and Trevor were just so like such background characters. I didn't even bother trying to see what theirs said.
I found it funny that they're the only two characters that actually put on the elbow pads and knee pads. Phoebe and Podcast were just like, F that shit. But I mean, I guess like considering how much they had to like kind of like roll up the sleeves and like the pant legs on the jumpsuits, there wasn't really room to put the elbow pads on.
Yeah. Gosh, it I'll be real. It was really hard for me to not give the costumes a 10.
Yeah.
But I think what brought it down was like everyone else's costumes.
That's
biggest
fair.
one for me was actually their mom's costume. Not her like day-to-day wear, but when she became one of the dogs and like was in that dress.
You didn't like that?
It was a very unflattering dress.
It's kind of the point because that's a nod. That's basically almost the exact same dress that Dana Barrett wears in the original.
Yes, but I also remember that dress working really well for her.
Oh. Okay. All right. I guess I can give you that.
Yeah, I
So
think
someone has the hots for Sigourney Weaver on this episode.
I'm actually not even the biggest Sigourney Weaver fan. It just like I thought it looked really good on her, and then for some reason it just felt really unflattering. And like this isn't like any comment on the actress at all. I think it was just the dress was just. I think okay, you know what I think it is? I think Sigourney Weaver was just like really tall. And
That's okay.
And
I forget.
And this actress was just on the shorter side. And so that dress it just felt like small and compressed. And so I think if they would have gotten something that maybe accentuated her height a little bit better.
I'm actually interested. So, okay, yeah. So Carrie Coon in this one, she's 5'5", and then let's see how tall Sigourney Weaver is. Okay, yeah. So Sigourney Weaver's 5'11".
Okay, yeah. So I think I'm trying to like think of what like I'm such not a like a dress person. Like, not obviously, but like I don't know how to explain what the deal was with the dress. But if they would have just done something to make it frame her to seem like she was a little bit taller than she was, I think it would have made it work a bit more. Because for whatever reason, that dress made her seem very like short and stocky.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I can get where you're coming from.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what it could have been? It could have been the freaking arm thing. The part of the dress that like was attached to her arm.
Okay.
I think the way that she was like holding it out and being like very majestic with that made it feel like the dress was like a lot boxier than it actually was.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I can get that. I can understand that.
Yeah, so I would have gotten rid of that. Once Paul Rudd became the keymaster, that felt really weird.
Yeah.
Like the way that he was all like, his clothes were all like ripped apart.
Is it just me or like honestly, I can't wait to be able to watch this movie with subtitles because I couldn't understand a damn thing that they were saying to each other when they first met.
Yeah, I understood what Paul Rudd's character was saying. Had no idea what Callie was saying, and I think that was the point.
No. Well, whoever does subtitles for that movie, I really hope that they understood it.
Yeah. So, like we said, costumes sitting at a 9. Unless you got any other comments.
Nah, I got nothing.
All right. Last up, we got our own personal grade. You want me to go first, or?
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So overall, I freaking loved this Ghostbusters film. This is the true Ghostbusters 3. Even though I feel Ghostbusters as a video game is kind of the same thing. Let's just call them both Ghostbusters 3. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, great. Really enjoyed the new characters. Loved seeing the original 3 back together again. And the way that they were able to incorporate Harold Ramis's ghost was amazing. They did an incredible job. Yeah, I have very few problems with this one. It's definitely more grounded than the other two, considering that you don't really get a lot of ghost busting until the end. But nothing wrong with that. I think Jason Reitman did a great job bringing the Ghostbusters franchise back to life. And I'm really hoping that this movie does well enough that we can continue to see more Ghostbusters stuff. So I'm going to actually go a 95.
Damn. All right. Well, I am a little bit lower. I like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. Had a lot more fun with it than I thought I was going to. And because I'm not even like the biggest Ghostbusters nerd, not nearly as much as Rose is. Yeah, like that's not like an insult or roasting you or anything.
No,
it's just like not my thing, and I have no idea why. I think it's
Nothing
just
wrong with it.
like I think what my issue might be is that it's ghosts, and there's like a part of me that's expecting to be scared, and so it maybe turns me off to the series as a whole, even though I know it's not
that's
scary.
understandable. Yeah, no, that's understandable. I get it.
Yeah, it's just because I'm like a major bitch when it comes to being scared.
He is, folks. He really is.
Yeah. So, I think that was like my big issue with getting into Ghostbusters, but I had an absolute blast when Egon was on screen and like everything that they did to include him. Like I was filled with some like genuine emotion, like very strong emotion. Like I was on the verge of tears with some of the stuff that they pulled off. So like that's a big deal for me, especially with the franchise that I'm not too familiar with. But yeah, like I said too, this could have easily been what The Force Awakens was meant to be. Or that came out wrong. This is what Force Awakens should have been.
Yes, absolutely agree.
Not ignoring the fact that they're copying the same story from the original, but acknowledging it and accepting that and just running with it. And then just hell, I mean, I think we got all of the freaking fan service that we could get out of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't think there's one thing that they did in this movie that they like didn't address, or basically there's not like a single thing that wasn't like fan serviced or ignored, other than I would say Slimer. But
yeah.
Like Rose said, we kind of got our fill with that with Muncher. So, I mean, overall, like, you cannot complain about this movie. At least in regards to that. Like, if you wanted to say, oh, it's just fan service, like, yeah. No shit.
But at its finest.
Yeah. So, I think this pulled off what Force Awakens just could not.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm a little bit lower. I'm going to give it an 88.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, so averaging that out, that brings us to a 91.5, which also concludes this breakdown. So, the final All Bros letter grade for Ghostbusters Afterlife has come to a B+.
Woo-woo.
Yeah, very strong B+ too.
Hell yeah.
Let me figure out where it's sitting. So out of 37 B-plus movies, Ghostbusters Afterlife is sitting at number 7.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's sitting at an 89.75.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, so that puts it above Better Watch Out, which was at 89.72.
Okay.
Puts it above Black Widow, which was at an 89.62. Puts it above Ready or Not, which is at 89.40. Puts it above our original Spider-Man Far From Home score, which is at an 89.35. And then finally puts it above Black Panther, which was at an 89.34.
All right.
Yeah. And then that puts it below Da 5 Bloods, which is at an 89.8. Puts it below Marriage Story, which is at an 89.81. Puts it below Elf, which is at an 89.85.
Not bad.
It's below Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is at an 89.87. And then puts it below The Avengers, which is at an 89.88.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that one.
Yeah, the margins on this one are like ridiculously tight.
Damn.
Like, we have to get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's like 10 movies before we even get a full percentage away.
Wow.
Like, the margins in our B plus grades are really freaking tight.
I love it.
But yeah, I think a B plus, super good score for this.
No, I absolutely agree.
And definitely being on the stronger side. Like, no joke. So our top B plus movie is Rocket Man, which is at an 89.9.
Oh, okay.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is 0.2% away from that.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. So like I said, the margins are ridiculously tight.
All right. Yeah. Well, unless you have anything else to say about the movie.
Nope.
Okay. Well, that concludes this week's episode. If you like what you heard.
Heard?
Yeah, heard. If you like what you heard, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Even though we switched to Podbean, we should still be everywhere. So, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can also catch all of our episodes on YouTube, if you prefer to listen that way. You can follow us on social media, where you can DM us with episode ideas, answers to our questions of the week, or that's also a great way to contact us if you ever want to join us for an episode. And those are facebook.com. Wow, I'm screwing this up already. Facebook is facebook.com/The Allbros, Twitter and Instagram @The Allbros, or you can email us, if you prefer to do that, at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. And even though we have nothing on it, we also have a TikTok now. Just search The Allbros and you should be able to find us on TikTok. But we will get stuff out there soon. We promise. Or at least I promise. Considering that Caleb has generously granted me TikTok control.
Jeez, you make me seem like such a warden.
No. He is, guys. Just kidding.
Bullshit.
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. If you want to check out our website, you can check it out at tinyurl.com/the Allbros, where that is the best place to be able to get merch, considering at TeePublic they keep taking down all of our good shit because damn companies keep copyrighting us, freaking assholes. So if you want a shirt, hoodie, whatever made with a certain logo that's already been taken down, be sure to fill out a form on there, and we will gladly get that made up for you.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah. So next week on the podcast, we will be breaking down the next installment in the Matrix franchise, and I always forget the names of these films. The Matrix Reloaded. So yeah. I want to say this was actually the one I watched the most as a kid. I think so. I think it was the second one that I watched the most as a kid. So hopefully the second one maybe holds up better for me than the first one. We'll see.
Hoping it triggers your nostalgia.
Just a little bit more. It might be the third one. What are your... Have you seen The Matrix? What is it? Resurrections. Have you seen the trailer for it?
Yes.
What are your thoughts so far? What do you think of it?
I think it looks pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's definitely some things that they're gonna have to explain, like what the hell happened to Morpheus. But
from what I've heard, is this is supposed to just be like a Morpheus from like a different not timeline, but God, I don't know. I know, like, I've heard like they actually are explaining it very well why it's not Lawrence Fishburne's Morpheus.
that's good. I just
Yeah.
hope that this doesn't feel like a cash grab.
Yeah, I hope so. I said the right actor, right? It is Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes.
Okay, alright, I just wanted to make sure. No, yeah, I absolutely agree. I do want to point out something really quickly. Okay, so in the first 3 Matrix films, Keanu Reeves does not have a beard. But in this one, well, and not long hair. But in this one, like he has this classic long hair that he has now, and a beard. If they can let him keep the beard for the Matrix, why couldn't they have done that for Bill and Ted? Face the Music.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, just Keanu Reeves just looks way too weird without a beard now. I think it still would have worked just fine with his character if he had a beard in Bill and Ted 3. But I digress. That's my only complaint. But
fair.
anyway, yeah. So that's next week's episode. Got way off topic there. But yeah. So be sure to check oh my God. Be sure to look forward to that. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I am the one that just F's up everything every single episode.
And I'm the one that screws up the other half.
And we will catch you guys next week. So long.
Deuces.